Well, alrighty, fellas. I was gonna do a stream recap intro, but more pressing matters have shown upon my hands today, okay? I don't know what happened, but there's a huge new post that reveals a bit more information about what's coming up in the PokeMMO update, the one that will happen before Shiny War, which will also change a lot of the encounters and change a lot of things in that way, okay? We got a little bit more information. So somebody was talking about their concern with the update and the timing, but also being really kind and being like, you know what, I trust the devs, yeah, which is like really sweet to see, man. And Rage said, strategizing alongside the new encounter tables is an intentional part of the challenge this year, and it's more important overall than in previous years. A team that plans and coordinates well will likely score better than a team that simply grinds harder. For the rest, this should be able to alleviate your concerns a bit. Note that it is still a work in progress, and this is a placeholder for morning-only data. The final release may look a little bit different, but we are getting percentage wild odds in the... I've talked about this for like 3 years. For like years. The devs do listen with this, some of this stuff. It takes time, and it's a slow-moving process, but this has been talked about for years on my channel. The adding of percentages, extra data. Yes, Xanarchy. This is like Xanarchy's wet dream come true, dude. Like, this is the PokeMMO nerds' favorite thing, dude. Not rare, not very rare, not common, but straight percentage odds in the wild, depending on the time of day, depending on the season. This is going to give us so much more data and control and information as the players, so much more agency as the players to choose what shiny hunts we want to do and when and why and all that jazz, dude. This is an amazing Pokedex overhaul that in my opinion, we've needed for a while. So I'm just, yeah, Xanarchy literally replied, that's so funny. I didn't even see this yet, I swear. Yeah, the percentages, man. The percentages are so beautiful. I've talked about, if you know in PokeMMO, there's the Bagon shiny hunt, right? And if you don't, unless you talk to people, if you're like a single player, right? If you go check the Bagon encounter, the Bagon Pokedex, right? It says rare and lore in Meteor Falls. Usually you don't single encounter shunt rare Pokemon. Usually you egg hunt them. But for some reason, Bagon is a 20% chance spawn in Meteor Falls, at the back of Meteor Falls. It's a 20% chance encounter. That is single encounter shuntable. This literally changes the method of how you shunt Bagon, even though something like a Charmander or something else would be like a lore encounter, and that would be like considered rare, right? There are tons of other like rare spawns. I'm just gonna find an example really quick. Most of these are lures. They've been changed to be lures these days, to be fair. What's another rare spawn, chat? But there are like Pokemon that are considered rare, but they're not actually rare. They'll be like 5%. A Pokemon could say rare in the Pokedex, and that could range anywhere from like 5 to 20% encounter rate. And that monstrously changes, you know, how often you see that Pokemon. I think a good example might be Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo over at Route 210 is a rare encounter, and it's around 5%, which is what you'd normally expect. So to finally be getting hardline percentages is a really, really massive deal. This will get its own video because this is huge news. It's a Pokedex overhaul incoming. This is massive, massive news. It'll also be featured in the stream recap if you're watching there. If you've already seen the video, you can go ahead and skip over this segment, obviously. But yeah, just massive, massive news, man. The Pokedex overhaul is coming, fellas. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, yada, yada, all that jazz. Have a great day.